Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the shop. I'm Chad. This is Carter Engineering and Fabrication, week 5 of 2025. Lots of cool stuff to go over this week, mostly organization and a little bit of purging, trying to open up some room in the shop and get some projects coming in, so let's get into it. Alright, so a quick refresher from last week. I picked up this set of pallet racking, uprights, cross members, and wire racking from an auction. It was a pretty good deal, but also spent way too much time going to pick it up due to other shenanigans with the flat tire and the locked up hub. It was a whole thing. Check out last week's video if you missed that whole ordeal. But here I am just cleaning up the dirty room, moving out a lot of excess things. I stacked a bunch of stuff underneath the Bonneville just to gain some floor space temporarily. Here I am bringing in the cross members and setting up the initial pallet racking. Just trying to gain some floor space. I think it'll be good to have a lot of the stuff on wheels to tuck under the first shelf and then some of the longer term storage. But this is obviously sped up 75 times. This is me just buzzing away, putting in cross members, and the ladder, the portable ladder, was also an auction find. It came in super handy throughout this whole process. So here I am again, just trying to get the rough structure put up, and in preparation for getting stuff off the floor. Also took this opportunity to purge some things that I've been holding on to, really decide whether they needed to stay or not. The Marie Kondo method, do they bring me joy, or would I clean poop off of them, whatever the case may be. Getting some good cleaning done, stuff that I've been holding on to, some of it for years. So yeah. Man, I wish I worked that fast in real life. Here's me, thumbs up, new battery died. Getting back after it. Rainy day, got some good music playing. Just shuffling some stuff around. Some of the work's done back there in the back corner behind the tractors and the Bonneville, but trying to get as much done as I can during the day. And here we are breaking down some of the old shelving that's going to go away and get replaced with the pallet racking. So much of the vertical volume, the stuff over top of other stored items, is not being utilized. I think this more than tripled my storage while not taking up any more footprint than my previous stuff. So here's me grabbing the camera, a little shaky cam action. What are you doing? Come on. Oh, there we go. New camera position, buzzing through some of this stuff, getting the old shelving broke down, and here's the new pallet racking uprights. The air compressor is going to live underneath the pallet racking as well, and then one workbench is going away in favor of a plywood top shelf. So I'll have a workbench pseudo built into the pallet racking for like the work that goes on in this area. I'm thinking I'm going to add some lighting, and then I think the pallet racking will be a convenient way to add some hose reels and cord reels as I get a little farther along. And this worked out pretty well. All right, so one major problem that I overlooked, and this has bit me before in the past, I should know better, is that the wire racks that came with the pallet racking did not match the uprights and cross members. So when I went to put the wire racks in, they literally fell between the cross members. They were too short by about 1.5 inches aside. So that's on me. So here I am making a quick SolidWorks layout with the dimensions of the wire racks, as well as the pallet racking cross members. And my thinking is that as an interim fix, I can put 2x material, 2x4, 2x6 across to bridge that gap and still use the wire rack sections. I may go back and just put plywood on everything, but this lets me use the wire racks that I already have. Ended up being I only had enough wire racks for about half of the shelving units, but you'll see in just a second as I whip through this SolidWorks model, you know, what I'm able to salvage here from this. And it's a couple different ways to go about this, but you know, wood's relatively cheap, or at least it used to be. This wasn't that cheap, but here I am throwing in just a mixture of 2x material, trying to bridge the gap, make sure there's no holes where stuff can fall through, and this looks like it's going to work out okay. I'm recording this from the future. It worked out fine. So here's the final result, 2x6, 2x4, 2x8 pattern, and then the wire shelves will drop down in, and then nobody wants to watch me make an Excel file, but I did. Super nerded out on this one. I tried to optimize lengths. 10-foot boards got me 3 pieces with about 6 inches of waste on each cut. So jumping forward in time a little bit. So here's a truckload of lumber, and Robbie came over to help me. Super gracious for his help to put some shelves together and try to get a little bit of organization, you know, just knocked out, which was great. You see we're obviously way sped up here, but things are moving right along. Stuff back up on shelves, and the floor space is opening up pretty quickly. So just to back up for a second, here's an overall view of the building, and what we're trying to achieve here is to temporarily place the weld table under the Bonneville, the SSR getting moved over into a more permanent spot to get some prep for an upcoming show, Trans Am moving from the heated clean room over and up into the lift bay number 1, and then the weld table moved and leveled into the clean room. Trying to get stuff organized and move on to the appropriate projects. So into the real thing, sped up quite a bit. This is me bringing the Trans Am down off of blocks. We're getting ready to skate it over to the dirty room into lift bay number 1. Here we go. Skates, more skates. Pallet jack getting the rear axle tucked out of the way for the moment. Something about this is really satisfying to watch because I'm sitting in the comfort of my chair and watching myself work. It feels a little strange to narrate this, but a lot of the work that's upcoming on this car, the exhaust, the transmission crossmember, getting the fuel tank installed, it'll be a lot easier in the dirty room. Skates, obviously super handy. So getting reset up here. I really like that I have a saw cut that runs dead center to the lift bay, so it's really easy to set a car up right on center line, push it forward and have it, perfectly in the lift bay. So shifting our focus now to the 4-foot by 10-foot weld table, or fixture table, whatever you want to call it. I love having this sliding door. It makes so many things so much easier. Imagine if you had to go outside and back in. It'd be terrible. So here we are, sweeping up a little bit because casters hate zip ties and small specks of dust. But let's get the table roughed into position. Same thing here, actually. The saw cut line runs dead center to the garage door and to the room. It makes lining things up, not that it really matters, but it makes me happy. So not sure what that says about me. Oh, that little clip of me holding up the hammer, my dead blow hammer died. Much sad, so need to get a new one of those. Oh, there's nothing happening. Oh, and we're back. Rear axle coming in. We're going to get the table cleared off, and the old 8.8 in the middle, or sitting on the table now, is going to go back into storage until it can be sold. Alright, so here we are, really cranking through it. I bumped the speed up a little bit just because I don't want to make you guys watch me move more boxes around. Just trying to get a clean slate because the Buick Skylark frame is going to come sit on the table pretty soon. Trying to get it cleaned off, and I'm a little frustrated with myself that I didn't have it better coated because it did get some surface rust, some just flash rust from sitting in the other side. I thought I had it cleaned and waxed, but here I am wiping it down with degreaser and like a very mild scouring pad. Probably should have had some better ventilation for this, but you know, kind of see me picking up the rags there, and it's definitely pulling some rust off. So get it cleaned up, get a fresh coat of wax put on it. Here I am getting it leveled as best I can anyway with the carpenter's level. It'll be close enough for what I need it to be level for. And then just really making sure that there's no perceivable rocking. It's on steel, like machined bolts that are machined down to a pretty small point. But here I am putting a coat of paste wax on it. Should keep MIG welding BBs from sticking to it, or at least help, as well as preventing rust going forward. So here I am taking this opportunity to just pull the measurements on the table and get it into CAD. It has 1/2 inch 13 threaded holes on a grid pattern, and the whole thing is best I can tell very, very flat. It's Blanchard ground, so actually the thickness varies quite a bit just because it was a weldment. So the tabletop thickness varies from 1 inch 040 to 1 inch 060, so not terrible, and that won't affect anything. It's just a random tidbit. But here I am pulling the dimensions down, and also the height off the floor. It'll be nice to have that in a CAD model, so as I lay out things like frames, bumpers, large bracket assemblies, I can make fixtures or whatever the case may be beforehand, have them laser cut, have them 3D printed. Just be a really handy thing to have, for those kind of layout purposes. So here I am modeling up the top in SolidWorks, as well as basically the outline of the substructure. That part doesn't need to be, anything special, but it's good to have something in there in case I want to weld on receivers for tooling or extensions. So just to wrap this up, this was before pano shot, and quick comparison to the after. I think you can see quite a bit more open floor space, as well as a lot of empty shelves. So that's a really good sign. Second view, looking at the east wall, you can see a similar trend here. I'm extremely happy with how this turned out, especially with the relatively low cost, the low spend, and as I continue to improve things, it's only going to get better. So that was a lot. We got a lot of work done this week. Thanks to Robbie for helping out with all the organization and pallet racking work. And it's good to clean up, get rid of some stuff, and open up some floor space. So back next week on to paying projects and just keep getting after it. So thanks for making it this far if you did, and see you guys next week. Bye. I was tired of looking at this crusty shit box, so I threw it up on Marketplace and sold it within a day. It's going to go and live a gruesome death in a burnout competition, and I'm not even mad about it. I hope it goes down in glory. So, bye.